The handheld gaming community has recently undergone a major reshuffle. We're not only entering the dual-screen era, but performance-wise, the 8th Gen era is also on the horizon. While I'm personally not keen on dual screens, I've decided to create this episode to offer some valuable insights for my channel's audience. Allow me to guide you through which of the two current mainstream dual-screen handheld consoles is the better fit for you. This video offers a hands-on review and comparative analysis of Pocket DS and the AYN Thor handheld consoles. All content is derived from my subjective experience, presented without bias, so please feel free to watch. Before we delve into the details, for anyone who might not be familiar with these devices, I'll offer a brief popular science explanation. When a clamshell device is folded and set down, tabletop surfaces A, B, C, and D are arranged from top to bottom. When held, the shoulder buttons are at the top and the TF card slot is at the bottom. With the DS closed, the entire device measures 18 by 10.7 centimeters with a thickness of 3.4 centimeters. When fully unfolded, from the top of the upper screen to the bottom of the lower screen, the device measures 20.4 centimeters, giving it an almost square appearance. Furthermore, the bare device weighs approximately 598 grams. The A side features only a logo, and the entire surface is crafted using full metal CNC technology, providing a subtle matte texture. Its edges are meticulously polished, presenting a very beautiful finish. The B side showcases a 7-inch 1920 by 1080 16:9 aspect ratio 165Hz high refresh OLED main screen. Directly beneath it, the C side features a 5-inch 1024 by 768 4:3 aspect ratio non-high refresh LCD secondary screen, though it's notable for its significant black borders. On the C side, on its surface, apart from a pair of joysticks, a D-pad, and ABXY buttons, there are also 7 function keys, a microphone, an indicator light, a power switch, volume buttons, speaker grills, and a pair of rubber pads. Although it might seem a bit cluttered, the benefit is that when the device is closed, its bottom appears more streamlined compared to the entire Thor unit. The device features a sleek and integrated design. Feel free to compare it for yourselves. Additionally, all buttons are meticulously engraved and utilize a dome switch mechanism. I found the tactile feedback to be exceptionally well tuned, avoiding any overly crisp or rigid sensations. The D side, on the left side, you'll find the brand logo and other inscriptions, while the right side features the air intake for cooling. The device's body is made of a matte, skin-like plastic that feels refined but is susceptible to oil smudges. The upper part of the device houses the primary shoulder buttons, 2 expansion buttons, the heat exhaust vent, the power cable interface, the power indicator light, and the microphone opening. The L1. The L1 and R1 and extended buttons all utilize dome switches, providing an excellent tactile feel. The L2 and R2 shoulder buttons feature Hall effect linear triggers, which, while having a somewhat short travel distance, still offer acceptable feedback. The device's sides incorporate an ergonomic grip design for comfortable handling. At the very bottom, there's just a single TF card cover. There are 2 aspects I believe are particularly praiseworthy. Firstly, upon opening the device, you'll notice the brand logo intricately engraved on the hinge, displaying meticulous attention to detail. Secondly, the entire device features hidden screw holes, all seamlessly integrated into its design. Now turning our attention to the Thor, its dimensions when closed are 15 inches. It measures 5 cm by 9.5 cm with a thickness of 3 cm. When opened, it extends 17.7 cm from top to bottom, and the entire unit weighs approximately 366 grams. The A side features no particular pattern, and the device's body is entirely made of plastic, offering a matte, frosted finish. The B side is a 6-inch 1920 by 1080 16:9 120Hz high refresh OLED main screen. The C side has a 3.92-inch 1080 by 1240 60Hz non-high refresh OLED screen. The official specs don't give this screen's exact ratio, but I'd guess it's the 8:7 screen from the RP Mini V2. As a secondary screen for a dual screen device, this aspect ratio is honestly quite awkward. When playing NDS and 3DS games, you'll encounter some black borders. Furthermore, I strongly advise turning off the secondary screen when playing single-screen games to prolong its life and prevent screen burn-in. The C side is fully covered with glass, providing a high-quality feel and no visible black edges. On the C side, you'll find 5 function keys, a pair of speaker grills, a microphone opening, and 2 rubber pads, which is a more streamlined design compared to the DS. It's worth mentioning that the Thor's rubber pads are quite thin, resulting in a distinctly plastic sound when the device is closed. Just take a listen to it. The D-pad itself is engraved. The craftsmanship, alongside the 4 function keys on both sides, likely features the classic rubber pad and dome switch configuration, offering a tactile experience much like the DS. The A, B, X, Y buttons lack engraving and operate with conductive rubber, having a slightly extended travel distance, yet delivering a satisfactory feel. The central AYN button. It's likely a dome switch without a rubber pad, and since there's no protrusion, it's slightly difficult to press. The B side lacks an ergonomic grip design. The top features a heat exhaust vent, while the bottom has a heat intake vent. Could someone please explain to me why a dust filter is always added to the heat exhaust vent, to the right of the intake? The side features an engraved brand logo and a decorative line, which aligns well with the overall design language and looks great. At the top of the device, there are 4 shoulder buttons. L1, JOT, R1 are micro switch buttons, and L2, JOT, R2 are Hall effect linear triggers. These also have a short key travel and feel slightly firmer compared to the DS. Observing from the side, one can distinctly notice the tangent lines on the shoulder buttons. The bottom of the device features lanyard openings on both the left and right sides, which is an excellent design choice. In the central area, you'll find the volume up and down controls, the power switch, the charging interface, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and the TF card cover. In stark contrast to the DS, the Thor's rather minimalist C side ironically leads to a somewhat bulky bottom design. Furthermore, the Thor's screw holes are not hidden, which creates a noticeable difference in overall seamlessness when compared to the DS. The Thor's hinge operates in 3 distinct stages. When you begin to open it, there's virtually no resistance or support until it reaches the initial stage, which is how it functions. This first stage is positioned at a little over 90 degrees, followed by a more common second stage at 120 degrees, and the third stage allows for a complete 180-degree full opening. The DS, by contrast, features a stepless, adjustable hinge. The advantage of this design is that the upper screen can be precisely positioned and held at any angle ranging from about 30 to 180 degrees. The disadvantage, however, is that it requires a notable amount of force to open the device when it's in a closed position. Additionally, both machines boast an impressive screen-to-body ratio given their size. This design choice necessitates a vertical layout for the joysticks and buttons, which unfortunately makes for an uncomfortable grip on both devices. However, this seems to have been an unavoidable compromise. To summarize, in terms of aesthetics, the DS incorporates more of its The openings are concentrated on the C side, and with the device's hidden screw holes design, it achieves excellent tactile quality and a more attractive appearance when the lid is closed. The ergonomic grip design also makes the overall device more comfortable to hold than the Thor. However, its large screen and metal casing mean its portability as a handheld device is considerably inferior to the Thor's. The Thor, conversely, while not featuring an excessively ornate design, demonstrates a clear emphasis on portability from its initial concept. This is evident in its compact screen, choice of casing material, and lanyard attachment. The end product successfully fulfills this objective. Unlike single-screen devices, I believe a critical issue for dual-screen handheld consoles is how the system manages the interaction between both screens, making it smoother and providing a more fluid user experience. Let's start with the Thor. AYN's approach involves adding an AYN button directly beneath the secondary screen. A single press then switches the secondary screen from the default app menu to the main control console interface. This interface features a bottom menu structured into 3 main categories: screen control, task management, and system settings. The screen control section allows users to configure the dual screen display mode and adjust the brightness and volume for both the upper and lower screens independently. When in single screen mode, In this mode, a single click of the AYN button directly activates the dual screen mode. Clicking on Task Management will cause the app to immediately appear on the main screen, entering the background management interface. System settings also provide common shortcut functions and system parameter monitoring. The Thor's dual screen control is not overly complex, yet it includes all essential functions and is user-friendly. It is comprehensive, offers full basic functionality, and is quite user-friendly. It is worth noting that during my experience with the Thor, I encountered several issues. For instance, the most commonly used emulator, Drastic, does not support the lower screen's touch input. Although switching to Melon DS is an option, Melon DS falls short compared to Drastic, both in terms of shaders and overlays. This creates a certain disparity, and I hope a future update can address and resolve it. For the DS, the secondary screen boasts more functions. Unlike the Thor, its default state is a distinct wallpaper interface. It also includes a function menu below, offering dual screen control, an application menu, multitasking, and general controls. Beginning with dual screen control, this section allows you to configure the dual screen display mode along with a unique AYA controller. This is for focus switching. There are 3 modes to choose from, allowing you to prioritize either the upper or lower screen for controller button input. Applications and tasks are simply the standard app menu and background controls, so there's no need to elaborate. The control menu also provides some commonly used function shortcuts, such as and brightness and volume settings for both the main and secondary screens. So, where have the system parameters and all those so-called additional functions gone? Just click the AYA button on the right side of the secondary screen to access a more comprehensive interface for parameter monitoring, system settings, and quick functions. Within this interface, AYA has integrated the system's pull-down menu and all the functionalities that are typically available in AYA's desktop front end, consolidating them into one place. The first button on the subscreen's bottom left is the dual screen key. A long press allows quickly returning to dual screen mode from single screen. A short press allows you to instantly access dual screen control regardless of the secondary screen's current state. Meanwhile, the third button is dedicated to performance mode switching. Additionally, I discovered quite an interesting gesture control. When you swipe up or down on the screen with 3 fingers, you can move the IF interface to the other display. It must be said that AYA's desktop front end is currently the most sophisticated among all brands. However, for users who haven't interacted with AYA's, For users unfamiliar with the AYA front end, the integrated control interface still appears somewhat complex. It's truly challenging to achieve both comprehensive functionality and clear interaction within UI design. I believe AYA still possesses considerable room for further optimization in this area. Given this is a dual-screen handheld console, I plan to focus on recording 3DS games for your reference. In terms of performance, the 8 Gen 2 and G3X Gen 2 are already a familiar face to everyone. For new players, to summarize, all retro games, from the Famicom to the Wii on consoles and Game Boy to 3DS on handhelds, can be played without a hitch, excluding any game-specific issues. All can be played without a hitch. I'll be demonstrating Monster Hunter XX on the 3DS. To get straight to the point, testing shows that with 4x resolution and a 60 FPS cheat enabled, the DS experiences no frame drops, while the Thor has occasional minor drops. Furthermore, the DS is equipped with an 8000 mAh battery, whereas the Thor features a 6000 mAh1. Regarding battery life, the DS, despite having a larger and brighter display, still performs better. Nevertheless, both devices offer at least 4 hours of gameplay for 3DS games, so battery anxiety isn't an issue. For thermal management, the DS product description states it has a PC-grade turbine fan. My test showed notable heat when playing 3DS games at 4x resolution. The official info on the Thor's cooling is sparse. In my tests, apart from a slight warmth in the center of the bottom, it performed acceptably. Finally, here's the maximum fan noise from both devices. It's clear that the DS fan is notably louder due to its increased power. From my actual tests, it's generally not necessary to operate it at maximum power settings. Now, to conclude with a summary, in my opinion, both of these devices are well worth acquiring and experiencing. However, as initially stated, the primary objective of this video is to assist viewers looking to purchase a dual-screen handheld console in selecting the perfect model to suit their needs. Regarding the configuration, I've summarized a few points for your reference. The Seoul 865 8+128 version meets the basic needs for a smooth 3DS and NDS gaming experience. For high resolution and to enjoy retro platforms like 3DS, PS2, and Wii, the 8+128 version of the DS and the Seoul Gen 2 are good choices. For a smooth experience across all retro games and to enjoy Android high graphics mobile games, along with PC and NS emulators, opt for the DS and Seoul's 16+512 or 16+1T versions. If portability and cost-effectiveness are your priorities, the Seoul is your best bet. However, if you desire a superior design with a metal casing and are not concerned about the weight, then the DS is the better choice. From a consumer's perspective, I believe cost-effectiveness is a very important selection parameter, unless you're a rich person, of course. Clearly, both cost-effectiveness and portability lean towards the Seoul. However, the craftsmanship of the DS is indeed more refined. Its metal casing and hidden screw hole design are quite striking. The difference becomes even more obvious when you hold both devices in your hands at the same time. None of these are absolutely essential, so the remaining choice ultimately depends on your personal selection. Alright, that concludes all the content for this video. If it was helpful to you, please give me a follow and a triple like to support me. I also plan to do a hands-on review of the Ayaneo R Mini and an in-depth review of the Fit 800 million version. If I have the opportunity to get my hands on the Odin 3, I will. I'll also make a video about it. At other times, I'll continue to work on my game collections, so please feel free to watch. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next episode.